day gamers so very much wanted to be able to take all of their 8-bit and 16-bit game systems on the go, because that was one of the most ideal things that you could ever imagine. I mean, we had the Game Gear and the Game Boy, and just imagining just going and taking that type of technology, applying it to consoles, then you would have one of the most awesome experiences ever, sitting in the back of your parents' car while playing Super Mario World or Sonic the Hedgehog 2 or whatever fucking random games it is that you decide to go and pack into your little fucking book bag or whatever it is. More than likely one of those little fanny packs on the front, because every single fucking kid back in the 80s and 90s, for whatever reason, ended up having one at one point or another, that and a mullet and pretty much no fashion sense whatsoever. But back onto gaming, the idea of having those systems, like the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Super Nintendo, having them on the go was awesome as shit, which granted, we did get a teeny bit of something like that whenever we got to see the Sega Nomad, which essentially was a Sega Genesis, but on the go, so it was all portable. And then we had NEC, who is the maker of the TurboGrafx 16 system, which made the Turbo Express. Again, both complete libraries, on-the-go, portable, and absolutely amazing. Granted, both of them were like gas guzzlers in the sense of they ate batteries alive as if it was going out of style. So if you didn't have those hooked up to like some kind of random generator, those things were gonna fucking die within a matter of moments at all times. And God forbid if your parents just random were like, oh, it's okay, we'll just get them random generic batteries of no name. If it doesn't say like Energizer or Duracell on it, those fuckers exploded. They were a death. They just did not last whatsoever. But luckily, we are now in 2013, rolling on into 2014, and with the advent of technology, whenever we're able to go and reach into our pockets and take out a phone and load this up with an entire collection of video game consoles with emulators and ROMs and stuff like that and on the go, or you get yourself a PSP, load that up again with ROMs and emulators, and have an entire couple generations worth of gaming on the go at your fingertips. That's extremely kick-ass. But for anybody that's the tried and true old school gamer that wants the legit cartridges from their legitimate collection and take those on the go, well, it just so happens that the folks at Retrobit are going to do such as that. So guess what? Get this motherfucking review on the go now. Well, now that we win, we crack this sweet motherfucker open, cue the appropriate Legend of Zelda music. Damn skippy damn straight. We got the handheld, we got the adapter, AC adapter, we got ourselves a multiplayer adapter, and AV cord, so that you can play this fucker on the TV. So let's go and take a look at all these items individually. Dun dun dun! Introducing the RetroPort, which comes with your Retro Duo Portable. This essentially is your gateway for taking your Retro Duo Portable from being a 16-bit on-the-go gaming machine into being an 8-bit on-the-go gaming machine. An 8-bit juggernaut, Nintendo Entertainment System style. Oh yeah! And you gotta go and snap into it, brother, and all the other shit. So anyhow, this right here is pretty damn nifty if you want to go and take your entire NES catalog and take that on the go and play it in addition to all your 16-bit games. The only downside to it is the fact that whenever you start plugging your NES games in, which we'll go and take Mighty Final Fight, plug that to the top. Now let's go and plug that into the Retro Duo Portable. It is fucking massive. Look at this. Look at all of this. That's huge. I mean, that's fucking massive. Like, we can see it from the Apollo station huge. Like, holy shit. It's like seeing the Megazord in the midst of its transformation get interrupted, and then it just kind of stays like this. It goes from being portable to just being like a way to shield yourself from incoming fire of anybody with a shitload of weaponry. You're just going and holding it up like, please don't just come the fuck down. So yeah, granted, it's a nice idea, but it's fucking huge. It is, like, ridiculously huge, comical even. So yeah, but at the very least, you can take your stuff on the go. So that's kind of handy, right? Right. Ah yes, one of the quintessential things that you will need with this, the AC adapter. So if you paid your electric bill, you'll be in luck, because electricity is your friend, especially with your electronic devices. So you go, plug this into the side, plug it into a wall socket, bam, there you go, charge this bitch up, and it gets about 8 hours of life, which really isn't all that bad. Now the downside to it, the AC adapter input is right where your fucking hand goes. Like, again, why the fuck is it right there? Right where your hand has to go. So if you plan on playing this inside without it having hooked up to a TV, or with the kickstand and controllers and shit actually hooked into it, then you're gonna run into this problem where you have to have your hand at like some kind of awkward fucking weird ass double jointed angle so that you can enjoy this. So next time, place it on the back or on the top or the front or any fucking other place where it's not gonna get away of your hands and your thumbs. Now, despite the fact that this is a portable gaming machine, if you want to go and sit at home and play this on a much bigger display, like a 42-inch TV or whatever random fucking TV you have sitting around, then you can go and take the AV cables, which are the standard AV cables that you'd see in anything else that's out there, and if you don't know what the fuck they are, then chances are you've never touched an electronic device in your entire life. But you plug them in on top of the machine, plug them into your TV, biggity bam, biggity boom, there you go. You have yourself a Super Nintendo and an NES on your TV, thanks to the Retro Duo Portable, and the AV cables, and electricity, and your television. So yeah, they're like a team, like the Super Friends. Multiplayer fun, multiplayer goodness, how the fuck is that possible? With this, a 2-player controller adapter. So, naturally, if you want to go kick the shit out of people in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, whatever the fuck, or Killer Instinct, or Mario Kart, or something like that, then you get this. You just plug it into the side, which is kind of problematic if you're trying to do multiplayer on the go and only have one controller, because, well, this goes right where your hand rests, but if you got 2 controllers and you were having this stationary, then everything's fine. But other than that, just get Super Nintendo controllers, plug them right into the adapter, and there you go. Now you're doing 2-player like a motherfucking champ. Also included with the set for the Retro Duo Portable is a kickstand. So you get a little clear piece of plastic, and on the back of it there's 2 little grooves. All you do is you connect that. So slap that bitch on there and it'll stand upright for you like magic. And you can go and get a controller adapter, plug that into the side, plug a controller in, and there you go. It's like having a mini portable Super Nintendo console itself, not even just being a handheld, which is pretty handy dandy. And you can plug in a secondary controller, and then all your friends that are sitting around won't be nearly as fucking bored. Alrighty, so on the front of the unit, it gives you exactly what you need. The traditional 4-button diamond-shaped layout with the Super Famicom-style color scheme. And that's pretty much the kind of color scheme that I prefer. I don't like the dark purple and then light purple, but it looks like it's like a dying shade of purple, no less. The face buttons feel just right and don't come off as cheap or shitty or anything like that. The D-pad, while it gets the job done, does feel a lot more stiff compared to the traditional D-pads that come on the Super Nintendo controllers, or even some other third-party controllers that are out there, including the handhelds. Now keep in mind, this isn't anything that's going to inhibit your ability to do Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo combos, or Ultra combos and Killer Instinct or anything like that, but it is something to take note of. The shoulder buttons, though, I have to take big fucking issue with. Firstly, their placement on here makes it awkward as all bloody hell for people, even with big hands, like mine, to go and stretch your fingers all over the goddamn place just to tap them. These should have been placed on the back of the unit where your hands rest more naturally, not the top where it's all fucking weird to get to them. As for the buttons themselves, they're actually not all that bad. They sit up a little bit higher than the normal buttons on the Super Nintendo controller, and they do feel pretty decent just like the face buttons on the front of the unit, so that in itself isn't a bad thing, it's just their placement is so fucking weird. How about that handy dandy light up square that's smack dab in the middle of the unit, huh? It's a 3.5-inch LCD screen, so you can get all your gaming goodness and see it unfold right before your eyes. Unless you're playing with something shitty, then you'll just die a little bit inside more and more, like Shaq Fu or some random fucking Bubsy game because you're a complete imbecile, or you're masochistic. Now, the screen admittedly looks damn good, even in low light settings or in pitch black or fuck, I forgot to play my electric bill type of darkness. Viewing the screen from sharp angles also doesn't mess up the image, thankfully, since this can be annoying as shit, especially with handheld systems. For those with ears and the ability to hear things, the dual speakers on the front of the unit will come quite in handy, especially with games containing music, or sound effects, or even both! Dun dun dun! Seriously though, you'll want to hear for things like the F-Zero soundtrack, or the musical score of Final Fantasy VI, aka Final Fantasy III, whatever the fuck you want to call it, you already know what I mean. The speakers pretty much get the job done. I do wish that they'd go up a little bit higher, because even when I crank this motherfucker up all the way, it's not extremely loud. But then I also think about, you know, oh, every other handheld I've had, well, even when they were at max volume, it was pretty fucking hard to hear. Like, if you're out in public trying to play this, yeah, it's gonna be annoying. So my suggestion is that if you want to listen to the game as well and have the best experience possible, get headphones, because that's the only way to go. Or hook it up to a TV and then just blast a fucking TV, and then have neighbors pounding on your door wondering what the fuck is wrong with you. At which point you point them to the Retro Duo Portable and they're like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. Carry on, carry on. See right there on the top? You see those? Yeah, those doors right there, they keep dust from butt-fucking the living shit out of your system to the point of no return. Then naturally force you to either use all your oxygen reserves on blowing the inside of it till you're lightheaded, kinda like a hooker with something to prove and she's having a really good night, or you just end up breaking down and get something and clean the living shit out of it. So put it this way, handy dandy doors are quite handy dandy, and they say fuck you to dust. Remember that. On the left side of the unit we have the power button, right where your hand is gonna be all the fucking time. What cross-eyed fucking Neanderthal shit for brains thought this was a proper position to put a power button?
Hey guys, you know what's really great about gaming on the go?
Accidentally shutting the damn thing off in the middle of playing a fucking game. Then even if it doesn't occur, we can have this button dig into our fucking palm and we can relive all the fucking trauma that we experienced during the N64 days playing Mario Party and having the analog stick just destroy our fucking hands from the inside out. Seriously, with all the space on the front of this unit, on the top, on the bottom, you could have just placed this somewhere else that made tons more sense. Of course not. You place it right where your fucking hand sits. So all I can say is be really careful whenever you're holding this and don't fuck up your game. Though on the other hand, if you have this stationary and propped up with the kickstand or plugged into a TV, this is never going to be a problem for you at all. But otherwise, if you're going to be using this for on-the-go, this might inhibit your ability to play the game because you'll be shutting the fucking thing off, in which case, yeah, it's pretty fucking retarded. Alright, so all the games that I played ran as fast as they normally do on the Super NES and the Super Famicom respectively. I didn't run into any situations where like the games were slowing down or stuttering or some other fucked up ass situation. So I was thankful for that. I didn't have to go and start questioning whether or not my games or the system itself was basically shitting itself into a 16-bit or even 8-bit frenzy. With the NES adapter in place, all the 8-bit games ran like a champ, or, well, actually, they ran like Little Mac in his I really don't give a fuck whatsoever pink tracksuit, which clearly is what gave him all of his superpower to put a massive beatdown on the likes of Mike Tyson, assuming that you didn't suck at the fucking game and you could actually reach him. Now, normally with clone consoles, you'll run into hiccups with various games with extensive libraries as big as the NES and SNES, but I didn't run into any games at all that didn't run or just ran all fucking goofy like. So if there is a list of games out there that don't run, I haven't come across it because I even decided to look it up myself and didn't come across any. But we are talking about Super Nintendo and Super Famicom, both PAL and Japan. So there could be a few games, and if there is, chances are that's not that big of a deal. So sound in each game came out exactly as expected, right down to the classic SNES reverb that everybody knows and loves, or detests to no fucking end. The tunes I played were just right along with the various sound effects in each game that I remember. Anything that might have even been remotely kind of sort of, maybe if you're trying really hard to find something really wrong, it wasn't that noticeable to be honest. So you'll still be humming along with all the tunes in Super Castlevania 4 or Zombies Ate My Neighbors, just as though you were back in the 90s minus the mullet and acid wash jeans. Colors in every single game that I played for Super Nintendo and for Nintendo came out looking spot on. There weren't really any cases where they were washed out or characters came off looking like alternate Twilight Zone versions of their normal selves. We weren't seeing cases where it was like Yoshi looked bluish or yellowish or some random crap like that. Like the poor little fucker decided he was going to go and swallow a Goomba who was infected with the T-virus. In which case, the cannibalistic little dinosaur decided to go on a big rampage through the Mushroom Kingdom of epic proportions. So basically, yeah, everything looked exactly as it should be, and that makes us old school gamers very, very happy. So that's my review for the Retro Duo portable handheld / console, whatever the fuck you really want to go and call it. I do like the device quite a bit. I just wish that it didn't have those downsides to it, because I would be giving it nothing but a glowing review, because it is pretty damn awesome with all the stuff that comes with it and all the things that it can do. But if you do just plan on having this hooked up to a TV all the time or having a kickstand hooked up to it, then the downsides I mentioned won't ever bother you whatsoever. So if mobility is actually like a second or a third feature that you're more concerned with, and you just want a little system to have hooked up, then fuck, there you go. Because having a region-free Super Nintendo and Nintendo sounds pretty bitchin' to me. So anyway, this is AlphaOmegaSin, as always, retro gamers, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers. Game the fuck on. Oh, that 8 and 16-bit goodness makes rumbly in my tumbly. Seriously, makes me fucking happy. Happy as always.